So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Camilla Carrara, Project Coordinator at C.L.A.S.S. I'm really pleased to welcome you all today to the 5th session of 2021 for the C.L.A.S.S SmartVoices program. The SmartTools Journey from Fiber to Wardrobe with Circular Approaches. The session will last approximately 1 hour, of which 45 minutes conversation moderated by our CEO and founder, Giusy Bettoni, and 15 minutes for Q&A session. You can also write down your question in the chat starting from now. We will then answer at the end of the session. I'll also leave my email address for further communications. Indeed, I kindly ask you to turn off all your microphones during the session in order to have a better audio. Moreover, as we are recording this session, I suggest you to switch off your camera in case you're not willing to appear. Now, I'm extremely pleased to present our today's speaker, Hiroaki Shinohe, Chief Marketing Officer at AKSE, ROICA by Asahi Kasei, Carolina Sister-Cohn, Global Segment Market Manager Textiles, Eastman Naya, Francesca Fincati, Sales Manager Inbotex, Barbara Guarducci, Co-Founder Mending for Good. Now I will say that it's time to enjoy the vision and I leave the word to Giusy.
So good afternoon, good morning to everybody, but really extremely pleased to be here today. So Giusy Bettoni, C.L.A.S.S Eco Hub CEO. C.L.A.S.S, is a platform that since 2007 is trying to integrate sustainability, toward the whole supply chain, the fashion supply chain, in order to prepare and in order to get values, that contemporary consumer is looking for. Because it's true that the consumer today wants to have a fashion, product that is good looking and that is innovative. But today, consumer is also looking to be guaranteed that this product, this garment, is going to be, to have a respect for people, to have a respect for, the environment, respect for oceans and also animals, and this is really key. And today is a special day, is a special Smart Voice, because this Smart Voice is part of a program that the team of C.L.A.S.S has prepared with hard work, I have to say. So I take the chance to thank all the team that has been really stretching a lot, and stretching is going to introduce also the next subject, because it's Fashion Revolution Week. And today we do not want just to remind the tragedy of Rana Plaza of 2013, but to remind people that each single day counts in doing something better. The commitment is not just, a sort of event, but it's an everyday, willing to do something more. And that is our aim today. We are going to talk about something that is very close to the heart of C.L.A.S.S, that is a circular economy. Circular economy is the base, really, to reduce drastically, our impact as human beings on the environment and also on the health. Climate change is key. We have been talking about it for a long time. We have dedicated Smart Voice also in the past, and please have a look at our website. You will see the recorded session of last year where we talk, for example, about upcycling, the new design, the new business model of circular economy. But today is a special moment, because we will talk about material in circular economy. Material has a huge role. The industry of materials is really a key element of the values and the key, protector, someone that is really fighting in order to get from at least the last 10 years, the reduction of the impacts and, keeping the values high also for all the other lives of of our world that is so precious. So, but do not want to take the time, and to take out the time of our speaking session, because we have really a team of experts today coming from different countries and from different perspectives, and that's what I really enjoy. But as usual, I'm talking too much, sorry, because I'm really passionate about what we are going to talk. So Hiroshi Nohe, from Dormagen, even if, as you can imagine, ROICA by Asahi Kasei. So we are in Japan, but with companies all over the world. Shinohe is Chief Marketing Officer at AKSE in Dormagen, the plant that Asahi Kasei for ROICA has in Germany. And let's go, you have a great background also in production, Hiro, so you know very well what is behind a stretch fiber, a one that it's more linked to contemporary consumer. What is the DNA of Asahi Kasei and ROICA as a company? Because as you know, it's not just about an ingredient. It's about an holistic approach. It's many different values, and we want to get all these values. But let's start with the company one.
Yep. So hello everybody. My name is Shinohe, and I'm from ROICA by Asahi Kasei. And as Giusy mentioned, I'm currently based in Germany. And first of all, I would like to thank Giusy and also the class teams for dedicating this session and having us inviting to be in the part of this session. Thank you. And before going into the ROICA DNA, I would like just to briefly explain about our company, Asahi Kasei. So Asahi Kasei is a diverse chemical company in Japan, where we have 3 business sectors, which are material, homes, and healthcare. And we are a global company with around more than 40,000 employees worldwide. And as of our company philosophy, the philosophy is to contribute to life and living for the people and earth. And the slogan we have for the company is care for the people and care for the earth. So our premium stretch fiber, ROICA, belongs to the material business sector with the global production sites having in Japan, Germany, Taiwan, Thailand, and also in China. And ROICA is the secret ingredient in the modern wardrobe of the today's contemporary consumer. And following our company philosophy, responsible and smart innovation belongs to our DNA. And thanks to the historical, let's say, chemical know-how that we have as a company, where to create added values into yarn to provide solutions for the industry and for the everyday life. For ROICA, more than 10 to 15 years, or more than 10, 15 years, we have been looking into the sustainable solutions and to reduce the impact to the environment and care for the earth. Of course, as a company-wise, we also have criteria and everything that has to be done. And we also have a certification for, let's say, the production sites. For example, the ethical certification, as well as the plant certification, such as ISO 14001 and so on. And as for the product basis, with our ROICA EcoSmart family, which I will introduce later, it's the world's first with the most contemporary sustainable range of responsibility and produced premium stretch yarns that improves the eco impact, and which can also create the values for the consumer and the customers.
Thank
you.
Not
only for the, let's say, the comfort and functionality in the stretch, we care for the people and earth, and the sustainability is, of course, one of the most main focusing that we have in our strategy.
Sorry, and I was really trying to get there. So, in the stretch, let's say, performance, you cannot be just sustainable. You need to have also a high performance, because people is not prepared, to live on not just the comfort, but also the technical, elasticity that people is asking. So can you take us through maybe quickly into the circular values of the stretch material, such as ROICA, because it's very clear the commitment of the company at corporate level. You have this family, but you have done something special on circularity, and would be great if you can share with us, maybe also the performance.
So I will just show share the slides with you.
I hope you are much
I think
better than me.
hope everybody can see.
Yes.
Okay. So in sustainable as a product basis, what we have currently for today is that we have the ROICA EcoSmart family, and within the ROICA EcoSmart family, we can offer two key yarns, which are called ROICA V550 and also ROICA EF. ROICA EF, we started with ROICA EF at the beginning, and it's been, I think, 4 years or 5 years. And ROICA EF is a GRS Global Recycle Standard certified pre-consumer waste recycled stretch yarn. So we use the pre-consumer waste to reuse the raw material to produce. So, and after this, moving forward or moving towards the circular values, we have reached to the point of ROICA V550, which is totally different from what we have of ROICA EF, which is a stretch yarn which can be breaking down without releasing any harmful substances. And with ROICA V550, it has been assessed against the criteria of the material health category in the Cradle Certified Product Standard. And our V550 was awarded as a gold level in the material health category under the biological cycle. And the way of the evaluation was to evaluate the impact on human and also in the environmental health. And after the evaluation, we have the result was that there were no eliminating all toxics and unidentified chemicals and becoming nutrients for the safe continuous cycle. So it's not just degrading, but it's becoming a new ingredient for the earth and giving a cycle in the environment. And on top of this, what we have is we also have a certification which is called Environmental Compatibility Certificate, certified by Hohenstein, which certifies that the yarn itself, after end of life, ROICA V550 smartly breaks down without releasing any harmful substances in the environment. So these two are, let's say, the key factor and key points for our ROICA V550 to be, let's say, marketed in the market. And not only just degradation or breaking down, what we are doing at the moment is we are working with a third-party institution to see, let's say, really the end of the life of the ROICA V550. So we are checking how long it takes to fully break down. And it takes time, and still we are, let's say, 1 year, 1.5 years have the test has been done, and hopefully we can get the result soon.
It's always taking time, but it's really important, I think, to have tools now with third-party evidence about the fact that an elastan, is able to degrade and without releasing any harmful substances, because that's the key thing. Nothing should be left in the environment and in the soil. And we know that it's already part of the fashion system, because different kind of people is using it. So maybe we can close these, valuable contribution with some names of people that is, already technically and marketing, offering it at consumer level in, we talk about the wardrobe at the beginning. We do not want just to stay sometime up in the air, but it's really important to understand what we can offer to the consumer, something that they can wear from the wardrobe.
So as of today, of course, we have been, let's say, communicating to the market as well as through the brands and different kind of fields and applications. And these are just the example of the major brands who has been adopting our ROICA V550 in, I think it was in 1 and 2 years. So G-Star Raw, they were the first, I think, to get the cradle to cradle gold stretch denim. In the past, there was a cradle denim, which was not stretched, only with the cotton and all the fibers. And they have been able to get the certification by using our V550 for the stretch knit. Kalida, recently last year, they have had a collection collaborating with the Victor and Rolf. It's a designer, and they also adopted our ROICA V550 for the fully sustainable, let's say, homeware ranges. And Sarabogi is the let's say, essential hosiery producers, where they have launched the green collection by using our ROICA V550. And Wolford is, let's say, they were really the first to use our V550 as a sustainable product, and they were the first to receive the Cradle to Cradle certified garment as a gold level in both biological and technical cycles by using our ROICA V550. And yet we are also communicating with other brands, and hopefully we can grow with our V550 in the market to communicate more in the sustainable and responsible way.
Thank you very much, Hiro-san. That was really interesting and concrete as well. And please, if you have questions, please write in the chat, and we will have a look at it, at the end of the session. And my pleasure now to go to Switzerland, I think, with Carolina Sisterkern. I hope that I pronounce it correct, Carolina, your name. And, Global Segment Manager, Market Manager for Eastman Textile Business, based in Zug, Switzerland. She joined Eastman in 2019, and she's our lady because she's responsible for showcasing how sustainable fabrics made with Naya, that is the material that we are going to, to do the storytelling based on the story making of Eastman, Naya cellulose fiber can enhance in the fashion industry. So, and you have a huge background in the textile industry, from in this, and I see also these, the university in São Paulo in Brazil. So Michigan, MBA from the University of Michigan. So can you please, Carolina, share with us, first of all, thanks to be here today with us, because we know it's, always time is becoming a problem, even if we do not travel so much. But can you share with us, Eastman, way of looking in the DNA sustainability, and then Naya?
Of course. Thank you, Giusy, for having us. It's a pleasure for Naya to be here, along with other colleagues from the industry. So as you said, I am in charge of the global fashion segment strategy for Naya. It's a new fiber. Maybe some of you might never heard about it. It has around 2-3 years in the market only. But because of the sustainability purpose of our fiber and of Eastman as a chemical company that's driving circularity as its top priority strategy worldwide, we are managing to grow Naya in an amazing speed and really entering into most of the brands, not only because the yarn is good and has a good performance, but mainly, I would say, because of the sustainability story that's what the brands are looking for now. I think that's the big step change in our industry. And as I said, I have more than 20 years in the textile industry, so it's been a long journey for most of us, but now I think we come to a different step, to a different style of fashion industry that we want to promote, and we want to participate and to be really an active part of the journey into becoming a fashion industry more sustainable and less compromising the nature, right? So if I can
Thank you, Carolina. Really appreciate. 1 + 1 is to make 5 at this point.
Exactly. So I hope you can see my screen. So our Eastman story, it starts with the trees, right? We are a cellulosic fiber, and our idea is to really tell the story from nature to fashion. So I'm going to share with you very quickly. I know we don't have enough time to go into detail, so I welcome anybody that wants to learn more to really contact us in our website or in our LinkedIn or Instagram accounts, because the story of Naya it really has four important pillars talking about sustainability. First is the origin, where we get our wood pulp from. And we have all the certifications from FSC to PFC, as well as the green shirt from Canopy, totally guaranteeing that we don't source from any endangered or damaged forests. So this is the origin of our fiber, the wood pulp. Then in the production process, I'm very pleased to tell you that we have a totally closed loop production where we only use chemicals that are really safe to humans, and we are a contributor of ZDHC in the roadmap to zero to ensure that no restricted or dangerous substances are added into our fiber, as well as we have the OECOTEX 100, which is the product class classified even to use with children's or baby clothes. Our production process, that we have two big production units, one in the US and one in Spain, is all done in the closed loop. So we have not only the ISO 14044, but also we are very well ranked into the Higgs index that many brands are constantly asking us. So all this low impact manufacturing process is related to a very low carbon footprint from tree to fiber, as well as pretty much no usage of water in our production process, because we do everything with dry spinning without using water. And these are two very important aspects, Giusy, that I want to stress, because that's what we are hearing from the market. They want to know carbon footprint, and they want to know about water usage. Of course, chemicals and source are important, but I think this impact of the manufacturing process is becoming very, let's say, in fashion lately. And last but not least, we are also certified by Tuva Austria Institute on the biodegradability. So Naya has the okay for compost, for water, soil, and industrial compostage. So I think this is like the whole loop that we have from our product standpoint, which at the end is turned into two different options. We have the filament yarn and the staple fiber. So I'm wearing today filament, which you can see is a little bit more luxury, but at the same time very comfortable, very easy of carry compared to the other fibers. We can absolutely launder at home. And the staple fiber, which is for more casual and more loungewear oriented, which is very soft, quick dry, and reduced peeling. So we have two different offers for two different types of garments, more for the women's wear and the other one more for the casual loungewear. And this is all within the sustainable approach of Naya.
This is really a great sharing, Carolina, because it's about an identity card more than, to talk about a characteristic. It's a complete, picture that we can have from what you can achieve when you have to do a fashion garment.
Yeah, also, what we always say is that fashion without compromise, right? Because you can have fashion, but you still have a good story behind. You don't have to make any strange announcements. So we are really transparent from a company standpoint.
Yeah, I like the word, the strange announcement, like nowadays when we talk about politics or, the situation of vaccine every day, let's
exactly.
Conversation to another place. So do you want to share with us maybe a little bit as, ROICA with Hiro was saying about who is using Naya already with the circular values, because as you said, you have really go up to speed into the market. You have been really so quickly, and successful. So can you share maybe a little bit with us the wardrobe of Naya?
Yeah, of course. And I think this has been really happening so fast. I mean, I joined Eastman 1.5 years ago. And when I joined, we have some brands with us. Today, we have more than 150 brands around the world, from Stella McCartney to H&M. We just became Zara's Joint Life certificate product, which is a very important milestone in our journey as well. We are in the Hugo Boss sustainable materials list. We are with Uniqlo in Japan, which is very, very strict also on the sustainable materials, as well as many other Italian brands. I'm wearing today Max Mara, an homage of the Italian team here. So Max Mara is a big Naya consumer, and we love they have that as a core collection, which is super nice. It's not just a fashion item, it's really a product that can be in your core collections all year round. And of course, we have other partnerships that are popping up with Tommy Hilfiger, with Theory, with Vince in the US. So really strong brands, Giusy. I'm very happy to report that we are moving very fast, and the adoptions are really growing.
And this is great because I would like to complete the picture with the fact that also with C.L.A.S.S, we have put the Naya fabrics for the new generation of designer with the C.L.A.S.S Smart Shop as well, because I think as C.L.A.S.S for us is also important, you know, to have a wardrobe also of the next future that is so important. So
yeah, and we have been very happy with the partnership. We have got many leads from the C.L.A.S.S website, and I heard our sales are very good there too. So that's great.
Happy to support. You know, the fact is that even if we started in 2007, even today we are receiving questions like, where can I find materials? Yeah. Where are they? Who can help me driving it? And that's why we are doing more and more, even after 13 years of activity, this kind of, you know, sharing the knowledge of the fiber. But someone is telling me that I'm late, a little bit late. But, you know, as I told you, I like to talk about this thing, and I like to give time to people to share. But we have also to think about the question at the end, because that is one of the key things about our Smart Voice. So Francesca Fincati, sales manager of Inbotex. Welcome, Francesca. You know, we are in the Veneto era, so you are part of the Inbotex just recently, but this doesn't mean anything because you are up to speed as well into, you know, these let's say responsible but also innovative, you know, material. So can you talk to us about Inbotex, and you know, you are really taking great care about your brands as well, because as you know, when you are talking about a material inside that is going to warm up you know, because it's the quilting inside that you do not see. Sometimes people is not so, you know, does not understand so much this role, but it's key, because without it, we will have huge problems, especially in the winter time. So please, Francesca, so I think you have a very special R&D center and product application. Performance is key for you. And you have also patented processes. So it's something very serious, you know, and I know that it's part of your DNA. Can you take us through your work?
Yes. So hello, everybody. Thank you, Giusy, for the introduction, and to all the class team for giving the chance to Inbotex of being here today. Well, the story, you are asking me about a story behind the scenes of Inbotex. How much time do I have? Because actually,
the right time, Francesca.
No, I'm joking.
We will beg the pardon to the, you know, to the people that is following us. We will go a little bit out, but we need to hear stories.
Yeah, I was just joking, because actually the behind of scene here is really big, and I need to go back to the past, from the beginning of the beautiful story of Inbotex in 1955 when the company was founded. So it was a quite simple business, family-run business, and it is family-run also today. And at that time, the unique range of products that we offered was addressed to the bedding industry. We used to collect production waste from local textile companies, so scraps from sweaters manufacturing, and recycle this material in order to produce fillings for mattresses. The best seller at that time was Mille Fiori, that in English stands for 1,000 flower. And it was, I've got a piece here, and it was a dark colored multicolored wadding that was indeed made of mixed scraps, different scraps mixed together. I always love to tell this story because it's really fascinating, not only for the name, that is very romantic, but also because it shows how sustainability and recycling has always been in the company DNA. I mean, that Inbotex has always had a close eye to the concept of sustainability, even if at that time it was not a trend and maybe neither a necessity like it is nowadays. In recent time, during the last 10 years, the company invested a lot in new technologies, new machinery, and in research and development. And this, together with the solid know-how coming from the long and the past story, enable us to create a new division that is insulation for apparel. The research and development department has always continued to look towards recycling with the idea and focus to be able to offer both performance and conscious products. So in 2019, we founded Inbotex Lab, that is now a new branch of the company that is totally focused on the idea of upcycling and circular economy. In our opinion, and our main goal actually is to offer a better recycled product that is upcycled indeed, that is eco-friendly, and that respects environment, both nature and animals, but also that can offer and assure great insulating performances, equal or even sometimes better enhanced than a virgin product. We love to say made from the existing. This is like a slogan we have, because we use already existing material, but also we like to say made to exist, in the sense that we can give a second life to a material, to a product, and without, and this is the point, without requiring additional consumption. So we patented a process that is improved and completely mechanical, so that there's zero use of water and no use of chemicals. The process is split in 3 steps. The first step involves the recovery of precious materials, scraps and leftovers from production. So we are in the post-industrial stream that will be sent otherwise to the second raw material market or discarded. So we gather and sort this material. Then through a mechanical process, we reopen the fiber, we connect the fiber, and we manage to have at the end a fiber that is ready again to be blended with the recycled polyester or 100% natural option with PLA NGO or other plant-based fibers, in order to give a new life to something that was waste and now is again insulation to be put inside our clothing. So the whole process is less impactful in terms of energy consumption. There's no use of water, as I was saying, and no use of chemicals. Reduced emissions. And the important thing I would like to underline is that also there's no production of waste, or better. Since the beginning, when we produce an insulation, we have a roll, and of course we have the edge that is a waste. But since the beginning, all this waste, we take this waste, we collect, and we reuse and remix it in order to produce basic products for filling mattresses. So there's no waste. It's a continuous circle. Yeah. It's really an idea of circular economy.
This is exactly the circular
production.
Because you have knowledge, you have spent on eco-designing all your products, because it's really important to make a strategy behind it. It's not happening by chance, all the things that you just shared with us. And for me, one of the most surprising still, after many years, but we know Inbotex and Stefania, that is the DNA of the company, it's the fact that you have a broad range. It's not just recycled polyester or recycle. You have really a range for all the natural material and the range for the high tech, but both of them are able to stand for the performance that the brand and the consumer are looking for when they needed to have a a garment that needs to stand in some sort of weather conditions, quite strong sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Can you take us through this?
Yes, of course. Exactly. We have a really big collection and really a wide range of very different kind of fibers. We not only work with recycle and upcycle, pre-consume and post-consume fibers. We also have protein fibers like wool or silk, and plant-based fibers or natural fibers. Recently, we had the certification with Vegan Mark, and we can offer now also 2 vegan paddings. One is with hemp and nettle, and one is with organic cotton and linen. So we go from the technical, as you were saying, till the recycled, but also virgin fibers. We really have a big collection. A brochure, it's like this.
But the key thing is that this means choice. And when you are in fashion or you are in sport or you are in, any kind of applications, of brands or retailers, they need, to have choice in order to be special, because at the beginning of this sustainable business, one of the things that people were saying is that, okay, but how I can be special? How can I perform now, today? And we have talked about some of the fibers, till now, that are also high-tech. So it's an eco-high-tech approach where you have the possibility to scale. It's an industrial, available system. It's not just, some sort of experiment. That's something really important. Would you like to share some names of people that is using your range, just to share with us your wardrobe?
Yes, actually, we are serving both the bedding and upholstery companies, manufacturing companies, but also technical and sportswear important brands. And we are working with really great and big important clients, both in Italy and all around the world in the fashion industry, really big and important brands. Actually, all our production is here at our headquarters in Italy, Cittadella, so it's 100% made in Italy, and we can really check each step precisely. And this enable us to have the complete control of it, to offer high-end and high-quality products, and even customize and meets customer needs in case they are looking for something special. We can try to find and invent a new product. We really believe in long-lasting and brilliant cooperation on hard work.
Yeah.
And we think that to have the idea of grow together and make our company better day by day and make a better world, it's a really common path that helps this collaboration to grow itself.
And cooperation is another key dimension of circular economy, because it's not possible to work all by ourselves. And that's why it's important today, to put our voice together. So
maybe now you want the video, because there is also a video from Francesca, if you can share it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And
this was Camelot.
Yes, it's a multi-awarded, I think, project as well.
Yes, correct.
And not the only one, I think, because I heard a lot about ISPO as well for the active sportswear. But this is amazing in order to introduce our next expert with Barbara Guarducci, you know, designer and creative, because Barbara is really starting from the craft, you know, in her journey into the design. And over the years, she has coordinated many projects around the world, working for various United Nations agencies and NGOs. But design is the center of her world with human beings, for sure. But she is now at the center of a new project that we launched together some time ago. But now we are really so pleased to be here because it's one of the most interesting projects related to design and circular economy, where, you know, the design is in the center, but materials as well. So Barbara, can you take us through, you know, you are the best person to take us into your world.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Giusy. Thank you, everybody. Well, okay, after all hearing all your presentations, I would like to say that I strongly believe that technology will, you know, find a solution to all the textile waste and all the problems that the industry has, our industry has. But in the meantime, we need to find solutions for excess stock and overproduction and textile waste. And that is why I founded 2 years ago and launched the project called Mending for Good, which is a project that is founded by me, Alessandra Favallis, who's here watching, who's following the marketing side of the project. I'm the creative director, and we're both based in Italy, and we have a third partner who's based in London, who's Saskia Terzani, who's more on the commercial side. So what is Mending for Good? So Mending for Good is a project, is a consultancy agency that works with brands and designers to address the issues of textile waste and excess stock and transform these raw materials or products into new products, into new items, into new products through the work, the craft work of a network of social cooperatives based in Italy and UK that work at a very, very high level. This is very important for me to stress, and Giusy knows the importance of this. We work, we believe very strongly. So our DNA, what is it? So what are we focusing on? We're focusing, of course, on the circularity, on giving a new life to objects, transforming them. We believe very strongly in social justice, of course. That's why we work with a network of social enterprises that are able to work with the industry, and that is very important. And of course, we celebrate craft because we believe that craft is important, that the humanity behind products is important, and that we have to cherish and protect also artisans and craft and celebrate them and give them visibility. So we have really a very kind of a complex, not complex, but very strong approach and belief, and we feel and we think and we see actually that we really can give solutions to brands and designers to these issues. And of course, when we are asked, we co-design. When we're not asked, we facilitate the process by coordinating our network of social cooperatives. When I say craft, I mean hand weaving, embroidery, knitting, crochet, hand painting, making accessories from bags to shoes to garments. I mean, we have created a really amazing network that we select very, very highly selected because we work with the industry, and we know that, of course, it's, you know, very challenging and the quality has to be very high. So this is, if I had, you know, to summarize, this is what we do, and it's quite a passionate work.
And can you share with us which is the role of the design, and maybe to share us also, you know, some of the projects that you have been running, because they're really looking beautiful. You know, we're in fashion and our eyes are always looking for beauty.
Yes. No, of course, design is important. And of course, our challenge is to make people really understand what we're doing. We realize that we are a new business model. We realize that we are presenting a new system. So sometimes we talk with brands and they think, oh yes, we can give you our material and then you do what you want with our material. No, we don't want your materials. We want to work with you and co-design with you or work with your designers to transform your ideas into products and into highly crafted products, and then you can put them back. You put them back in the market through your your system. So this is the challenge we have, the big challenge we have, because this is what we are. So we of course we are addressing big brands who have this challenge of excess stock and overproduction, and we are also working very strongly with young designers because they have in their DNA this concept, no? And of course now, so we have been facing new requests from designers who are only working from waste. So we're putting together the waste of the textile industry with the young designers, with our social cooperative. For example, we are launching at the end of the month a collaboration with Bettoni Williams London, where we followed all her production. As you know, she's producing only through social enterprises. So we are working with her to find social enterprises and overlook and the production and find textile waste, facilitating her request of textile waste, finding to produce her collection. So this is one thing. And on the other side, we are also very much supporting training programs for crafts. So we have a partnership with London College of Fashion CSR department, where we are starting very shortly the training program for embroideries on knitwear for women of the community based outside of London, and women from the prison project of London College of Fashion. And Mending for Good is organizing the training program.
And with the education, that is the key thing, because we are not talking about another trend, but we are talking a new mindset. We are talking a new culture that needs to change. And what you were saying, Barbara, about the difficulty sometimes to make people thinking in a different way because they never seen something like that. I would like to use this, hook to go with your video, because people will see what you have been talking about with some good, feedback for the eyes and for the soul.
This is our philosophy.
and it's great. So with Barbara and Mending for Good, we have closed the loop, another kind of loop of this conversation. And as the time, I think we are in time. I would have liked to have another question, but at this point, I think it's important to let the question of our audience and our guests, because I saw that there are different ones. So maybe Camilla, if you can start.
From the first one. Yes, Estelle is asking, where can a small brand find these fabrics for their collections?
Which kind of fabric? All the fabrics, generally speaking?
Well, the question came after Hiroaki Shinohe, but I think is generally speaking about everyone, and I already shared the link of the class e-commerce for small quantities, but maybe Shinohe wants to add something more.
I think, Shinohe, maybe you can say about the fact that we have a list of, you have a list of ROICA partners.
So actually, as ROICA, the stretch yarn is it's a yarn base where it's not something that we can produce the fabric just with the ROICA. So we have a partners who has the collection of using our ROICA yarn in V550 or either in ROICA EF, which is the recycled one as well. So we can share some of the partner lists that we have, which can communicate for the fabric collection.
Good, the same for Naya, I think.
Yeah, we have a list of our partners. As we said, some of our fabrics are in class website as well, but if anybody needs, I will leave here our address, and you can just tell us which country you are, and we can send you a list of mills that use the Naya fiber.
Great, and also for Inbotex, we have something in our shop, but at the same time, if you can leave, Francesca, your email or your link so that people can also contact you in case they need something.
Yes, of course. Actually, you can always write to me. My address is sales@inbotex.it. I will write it in the chat now.
Great.
And that's it. Yes, for we are here. We are in Italy, but we can ship everywhere in the world.
And you can talk to everybody in the world.
Yes, English is our lingua franca, so we can go wherever, and we cannot travel, but we will do soon.
Yeah, soon we will travel soon, I hope.
A second question for ROICA: how do you communicate end of life to the consumer? In what conditions can it break down? Is this easy for consumers?
So actually for the ROICA V550, what we are doing is we are doing the test of a kind of test with the ISO standard, which is the aerobic conditions. So of course it depends on the conditions, and the communication itself is, of course, it would be great if we could communicate directly to the consumers to understand, but the way we are doing is we are communicating together with the brands and also with our partners, and to let the consumers understand the concept of these sustainability, or let's say the degradation part.
And if I can add something, but generally speaking, about the communication of end of life, that I think it's something complex for everybody, correct, Carolina and also Francesca? It's not easy to communicate because the vocabulary of the end of life, it's really quite technical and quite complex. But you know, brands, retailers are really working, you know, and this is one of the class objectives in communication, is really to get to a wording that is, let's say, authentic, because we cannot do the strange announcement, as you said, Carolina, before, but at the same time, that can explain better to the consumer. And this will rely a lot in something that is going to be maybe a scan on, you know, a sort of label next to the garment that is going to be explored in a website through a very special, maybe part of the identity card of the fiber as well.
Yeah, and for us at Naya, we always do third-party checks for the life cycle assessment to make sure everything is, you know, under a good standard. So if anybody needs more information, my colleague just posted our website, and we are happy to share with you more details on the life cycle, end of life and life cycle assessment.
Yes, same for us. We can answer each question. We have got, apart from the vegan certification I mentioned before, we are GRS certified, we're AKSE and others. So yes, any info also more technical, we can try to solve and explain.
Yeah, one of the challenges for the consumer is that all these kind of certification and third party that are so important, because we cannot wake up a day and say I'm the best one, you know, without someone certifying it. But at the same time, sometimes these kind of third parties certification are not so known for the consumer. So I think the question was going into, you know, how we can create, and that's something that we will be able to do together with brand retailer and the fibers, you know, because it's a key thing.
It's not a question, but Takano is saying that there are some UK and German brands using Naya also who I have worked with, and the fabric is lovely. So compliments.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments from our customers. So thank you very much.
Good.
Then a question for Naya. Can you expand on how Naya is compostable, industrial or household? What is your vision for Naya's end of life?
Okay, so maybe when we can share the presentation later, Giusy, because we can detail all the OK compost that we have from Tuva, Austria. So just to make it clear, it's water, soil, industrial compostage, and home compostage. So we have the 4 biodegradability certificates. And once again, I think the end of life, it's too complicated to explain here. So I will welcome you to write to us or check our websites when we have all the materials available.
That's perfect. Carolina, if you can talk, or you can, you know, it's going to be great, because as we said, it's a complex, is that we do not want to take time to go through, but it's better for Carolina to go through the whole thing because it's a system. It's not one single thing. Thank you, Carolina.
No problem.
Then again for Carolina, could you share the ISO standard in biodegradability is using elastan by ROICA? I suppose it is not the compost home standard, just in compostable in specific industry that are not available for consumers, isn't it? So maybe it was for Shinohe, because
it's not Carolina, it's Shinohe.
Okay.
Could you share the ISO standard in biodegradability? It is elastan. I suppose it's not compost at home.
No, it's industrial composting. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Then
sorry, Camilla. Just to make sure, if the lady or the guy that has asked and want more information, maybe Shinohe-san, you can leave also your email.
Yeah.
So you
Okay,
go
sure.
through,
Yeah.
because
of course,
there is no time to go so much in detail. Sorry about the rushing, but.
Then Sonia is asking, when a fiber is said to be biodegradable, compostable, does the dyeing and finishing applied during product manufacturing change these characteristics?
Yes, so this is a good question. I can just jump in quickly.
Great one.
Of course, we produce the fiber, right? The yarn. So we can tell about how the yarn is produced and what's the end of life of the yarn. When you blend with other fibers, it's always important to blend with other sustainable and compostable fibers. And the same when you do dye finishing and printing. So we have several partners in the industry that do nature dyes and natural dyes and processes that are more sustainable. So we really encourage you, if you want to really have a full cycle of the fabrics and the garments, to pay attention to the dye and finishing materials that you use, and also choose the ones that are also biodegradable. Otherwise, it will delay or even prevent from the fiber biodegradability.
Absolutely. It's really important to check when they say biodegradable fiber, biodegradable fabric, biodegradable dyeing, each single step of the supply chain. So it's important.
And Jorge was just highlighting the fact that it is estimated that 30% of textile production goes to the garbage. So,
well, that's what also Barbara was saying during her presentation. The world still is wasting, you know, a lot of material that could be so valuable for other kind of application. We are doing all our best. There is a system that is working hard, starting from the raw material, as we have heard today, and today is just a little percentage. We should have invited here thousands of people that is working very well in our market. But yes, Jorge, we are fully agree. We want to improve, and your help would be really appreciated, Jorge, into the market as well.
Then a question for Inbotex. It is a business risk to invest in innovation, to purchase new machines. How did you navigate this?
Yeah, actually, the company has a long story and heritage. It is a really solid company. And 10 years ago, when the bosses decided to invest, we believed it was the right moment. Actually, it was the market was ready, and we were ready, and we have enough know-how to improve our quality and to grow and to be able to offer different kind of products that was the insulation for clothing. So we believed it was the right thing to do, the right step to take.
Can I just add something that for me it's really important? The company that are here today are leader in responsible innovation. So it's people that has, all of them are investing a lot, like the partners of C.L.A.S.S, generally speaking, because they see, of course, there is always a risk, you know, in everything that we do, but all the people that we are putting together, that are working with us are, you know, have already understood that they need to get the value of a part of the market, maybe not the complete one, but it's where the market is going 100%. Laws will follow.
Yes, it's like, you know, I cannot change the world, but every choice I make every day, even in my single and simple life, is as a value, as consequences. Even when I make a cake, for example, I can make an upcycle cake because I make a pasta frolla and I recycle the edges and I can make biscuits. So it's I can be sustainable every day in my life, even in simple and little things, and can help the world with my little approach.
And
it's about mindset.
If I can add one thing, like I totally agree, and every choice we make is a political choice. Everything we do, the way we buy, the way we consume. Yeah.
Last question for Francesca again. Could you share the position of Inbotex about microplastics?
Yes, so all our, as I said, we got a lot of raw materials, a lot of fibers. All our recycled fiber are GRS certificated, and we buy it from Europe, from most of the most important supplier and big companies.
If I can add something, because this microfiber, you know, polyester, it's a plug, you know, at the international level for everybody. And unfortunately, there is not yet a solution and not yet understood exactly what is happening. Sometimes we hear about microfiber of polyester, sometimes it's acrylic, sometimes it's also cotton. I think there is a problem and we need to take care. But I think the main action at the moment in the market, it's about brands that are suggesting and pushing, you know, to wash things, the garment in some special bag to try to avoid. And the other part is that people is trying to get the washing machine that are the new washing machine in order to set up, you know, different ways to wash, because wash is another important part of the conversation, not maybe of today, but it's for sure. So really sorry not to have a solution, but we are really eager to, you know, scientists that are working all over the world. And we will hear more, I think, very soon, because the 8th of June is the Ocean Day. So that's where I hope we will hear something more, but for sure, everybody will try to do its best, but it's more something that at garment level and in the, you know, the easy care of the garment. Any other question?
No other questions. A lot of compliments arising. That is nice.
We will share all the compliments at the end. I'm making you also the compliments. Thank you very much. It was very interesting. I'm learning every day. thanks to the team, and thank you for the people that was with us today, quite numerous and with a lot of interest, as you could see from the question. And please do not hesitate to ask us also after the webinar. The webinar, it's an important moment. You know, our Smart Voice is really a moment to share knowledge, because even if we are in the era of where it seems that communication is easy, but it's not so easy sometimes to find out the true thing as well. So thanks again to everybody. I will say also compliments to all the materials partner of class, because they should have been here all together, but we will, you know, be back with many other things. And thank you again, and keep in touch, because we will come back soon. And enjoy your day. Grazie.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao.
Grazie.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You.